Every day is a good day. Hey, good morning. What's up, 777? Hey, hey, hey. We woke up, it's a good day. Every day is a good day. Feel good, it's a good day. Hey, hey, hey. Every day is a good day. Hey, hey. Transmute, manifest. Hey. And we just clearing out this energy. We just clearing out this energy. Hey. Pour it back into me. Hey. You gonna make it where you're supposed to be. And we just clearing out this energy. Hey. We just clearing out this energy. Hey. Transmute, manifest. Hold up. Deep breath. Hey. And we just clearing out this energy. We just clearing out this energy. Hey. And when it rains, we don't run now. Life is getting better. Hey. And we walk with our heads high. We're in the fast lane. Hey. We had to learn to surrender. It's the only way. Hey. And now we pull the mask off. Hey. Mask off. And every day is a good day. Hey. 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 You woke up, it's a good day. Hey. 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 I'm feeling good on a Tuesday. Hey. 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 We call it abracadabra. Hey. It's magic. We call it abracadabra. You really gotta get your life back together. And no matter the storm that you go through, you gotta hold on because God really chose you. Now, I'm just trying to give you some advice. I'm on tarot, but I've been a hard head in life. Hey, but if you pray, God will show you. Grab your hand, take a chance, He will mold you. The world will use and abuse you, chew you up, spit you out, and confuse you. Gabriel to the rescue. He blew his trumpet, he's on earth to protect you. Stand up and take flight. Stand for something, fall for nothing, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. And this is for the soul tribe. Hey, soul tribe, yeah, we down for life. Hey, soul tribe, yeah, we down to ride. Hey, and we be down by the riverside. Hey, we get advice from the Most High. Hey, dry your eyes, you don't have to cry. Hey, and we do it for our soul tribe. Hey, we do it for the soul tribe. Soul tribe, yeah, we down to ride. Hey.
Tribe. Good morning.
Hey guys. Hope you guys are doing well in positive energy and attracting the life you desire because it's your birthright. We're coming through with another live. Make sure you take the message how it resonates in your life. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And don't forget, if you love the video, to run the video up. Share the video out. Okay? Leave us some hearts, some comments. Make sure you hit the bell notification so that you're notified when we go live. Okay? Good morning.
That's right. Good morning, y'all. Rich risings, grand risings, everything.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. All right, so to start out today, I'm going to read a proverb, and then I'm going to give you a download. All right. So the proverb this morning is coming from chapter 6, Proverbs. My son, if you be surety for your friend, if you have stricken your hand with a stranger, you are snared with the words of your mouth. You are taken with words of your mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver yourself. When you are coming to the hand of your friend, go humble yourself and make sure your friend. Give not sleep to your eyes, nor slumber to your eyelids. Deliver yourself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Okay, so basically this is talking about freeing yourself from the debt of other people. Like in this particular instance, I'm gonna speak about karmic debt, right? When you know that you owe somebody something or you done something to somebody, don't be a procrastinator about fixing the issue, right? Go humble yourself and make sure your brother or your sister, right? Just don't let days lapse over and over and over where you have debt and you haven't reached out to a person and maybe you were wrong, because it just amounts to you having debt over your head. So I guess restoration and reconciliation in areas where there can be reconciliation. Because a lot of times, y'all, let's be real, it's not the other person's fault. A lot of times it's our fault, right? And the next download is about an enemy that the occult, I would say, mostly occultic people or people that have knowledge, they send out this enemy to attack us, right? And me and my wife, we came across a study about it last night, so I'm gonna speak about it. And it's the energy known as Belphegor, right? Belphegor, Archangel Michael. Belphegor is the demon of sloth and laziness. He's a prince of hell. He's an art demon. So what I want to talk about something on an intricate level, right? Now, when you look at Belphegor and a picture of Belphegor, he's normally sitting on a toilet, right? Now, when that energy comes down upon you or tries to influence you, or if you're a person that has the Holy Ghost or the Spirit of God dwelling in you, then you can't be possessed, but you can be under the influence. What you'll find yourself doing is, first of all, this is the demon of discovery, right? And this is also the demon that introduces thought, right? Now, a lot of times we connect with Belphegor on the toilet. Like if you're a person that, you wake up in the morning and you grab your phone and you sit down on the toilet, if you're not really aligned, you can find, first of all, the offerings of Belphegor is digested food. So people that used to worship this energy, they used to sit on the toilet and give offering. And it still kind of resonates today, but many people, we don't really know what we're doing, so we don't really understand what we're getting involved in. But when you're under this type of attack, if you notice, when you grab your phone and you go without prayer in the morning, right? You go, you get on your phone, you surf, you sit on the toilet, you do your thing. What follows that is a certain laziness or a certain slothfulness. So if you feel yourself becoming, slothfulness is when you give up on the idea of getting closer to God, when you lose sensitivity towards other people, right? Chances are you could be under the influence of Belphegor. Now, if you're a person that's been attacked by the occult and you have any type of gift, normally that's the energy that they send out, right? Belphegor, who is Belphegor? Well, Belphegor was originally a part of the order of heaven, just like Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Phanuel. He was considered in the number of the fallen, right? But he wasn't a fallen angel. What Belphegor was an angel that couldn't choose sides. So that ultimately landed him with the fallen ones because he stood in a place where he was undecided too long, right? And the Bible speaks about a war that took place in heaven, right? Well, during this war, Belphegor sat outside like, I'm not going to support the heavenly host, and I'm not going to support the fallen one. So what happened after the war happened was Belphegor was cast down with the fallen ones because he didn't make a decision. So sometimes Belphegor is trying to influence us to stand in a place where we don't make a decision on God. It's the energy of Belphegor. He's known as the great disputer, right? So what he'll do is he'll try to influence you to go in a gray area where you're not really choosing God and you're not really choosing the fallen one. And I know it because I spent my time battling with this demon.
That lukewarm
right?
energy.
That's Belphegor's energy, lukewarmness, right? That's what he wants you to do because in lukewarmness comes moral decay, right? And physical decay, moral decay, and most of all, spiritual decay. See, Belphegor is not he's not like Azazel, Archangel Michael. Belphegor is the enemy of, he's the demon of laziness. So he doesn't come in with a violent strategy. He comes in with a strategy of laziness and complacency, right? And he tries to convince you not to do the work. The work is unimportant. Be a people's pleaser. All of these things they are brought in and under the influence of Belphegor, formerly known as Belpeor, right? Archangel Michael. That's for the ancient ones. So, over the collective that's connected to us, I speak protection under the authority of Christ that's given in the name of Yeshua, Jesus, however you see it. I speak protection over the collective that we may be able to fight against and rise beyond the attacks of Belpeor, right? Because this energy is prevalent. Like it's also another tactic of Belpeor is to attempt to oversaturate your mind with information. So that way you're not relying upon your foundation, you become reliant upon technology. That's Belpeor's aim, right? He comes in and tries to get you to discover so many things that now your brain is undecided because you got an overload. That's the perfect operating ground for the energy of Belpeor. So to combat that, make yourself active even when you don't want to be. Get active. Get them moving, study things that increase your faith. Don't grab hold to things that make you undecided in your faith. Because that's where Belpeor operates. He operates in that energy very strong when you become a person that's undecided, right? So, fight for your right to party, I'm talking about spiritually, right? You want to get down, you want to be a spiritual warrior, you want to be a child of the Most High. Well, that's one energy that we're going to have to battle, the spirit of laziness and slothfulness, right? So keep your heart prim, keep a primed heart, meaning be relative to humanity, continue to show love, and don't let your heart get to a place where you really don't care no more, or a place where you're self-serving, because you could really be given over to the energy of Belpeor, Archangel Michael. That was a download. Thank you, guys.
Good stuff. Okay. Yo, this blanket so, I mean, this hoodie blanket, yes, it looks exactly how it feels. Okay? I caught this thing at a bin store for like $8. I was like, yes, okay, this thing.
Big sale.
Yo, what? I know this had to be about $40. It feels so good. Look at the inside. Look, let me show y'all. Look at it. Ugh, this is the whole inside. It feels good. And I'll be cold. You need it? If I find another one, I will ship it to you, child. Okay? All right, so let's get into this energy. So first and foremost, I got 618. I don't know if you're from St. Louis, Missouri, something like that, but we got the area code out here, 618. This could be your area code, 816, okay, 681, something like that. It's heavy on the 618, okay? I know that's for sure, like St. Louis, something like that. Okay, this could be your zip code, your address. The first thing I got coming out is I heard Darla. Who is Darla? Okay, someone's name is Darla or something like that. But we got Dirty Offer and the Magician. So we're starting the morning off, and you know it's very clear that throughout the day it's important to pay attention to the offers that are being presented to you. We got humor coming out in the reverse. Something's not funny. Okay. Someone could be trying to set someone up about something, some kind of offer. You know, people are dirty, and I'm going to just be real. Spirit is really wanting you to pay attention that you have everything you need. You know how sometimes you might go out looking for something? Let's say, you know, you could be in a situation right now, because, you know, finances is always the number one reason why a lot of people sex and finances, is, I noticed, are the number one reasons why people step away from divinity, right? So with the Magician here, I feel like Spirit is wanting you to know that somebody could be offering you money, material, or whatever it is, but everything that you have inside of you is enough. You don't need whatever it is this offer is, because it's dirty. Okay? This offer could be making you you know, it could be turning you away from what God wants you to do, something like that. Okay? Someone could have an infinity tattoo symbol on them. Okay, the infinity symbol, something about that. Something about as above, so below. Okay? As above, so below. Right? You could be feeling like, you know, you don't have a place in this world, but it's okay. As above, so below. You have a place in heaven. Something like that. Okay? Number one. I feel like Spirit is wanting you to know that you are number one. Maybe you could be putting other people in the number one position in your life, but in your life, you are number one, because if you're not taken care of, you can't help anybody else. Something like that. Okay? Someone's throwing their hands up with something. Okay? You could be throwing the towel in on a situation or something like that. There's something here. Someone's trying to be funny, and I don't feel like it's funny. Someone's playing a game here, being sarcastic, being an asshole, something like that. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life, okay? Someone's wanting you to laugh at, you know, somebody's wanting you to laugh when they cause you pain or something. I don't approve of that, and you shouldn't either. It's not funny, okay? There's something tricky about a person here. Now, this could be a man or a woman, okay? This person could definitely use material and sex to get what they want, dirty offers. This person can only come around when it's convenient for them. I feel like if this is a business partner, this is someone who only wants to do deals that benefit them and not the company or both of you. Something like that. I don't know. Just pay attention to any dirty offers. Make sure you're reading any contracts. If you have any kind of contracts that you have to sign, any kind of paperwork or documentation, make sure that you're reading through these things before you sign. Even when you go to the doctors, you know, I know a lot of you guys just sign the paper because you're just like, oh, I do this all the time. Well, what if they put something in this agreement that you haven't read? It's very important that we start reading things before we put our John Hancock on paper. Something like that. God is giving someone a warning. Okay? You could be very excited about receiving something and not pay attention to the fine print. I'm hearing the fine print. Something like that. Okay? There could be someone needing to study some kind of law about a situation they're going through. Okay? There could be something, I don't know. I just feel like someone's trying to do something underhanded.
So we got patience. I'm doing oracle, no tarot. Patience, reward, and recognition, and gift from faith. Okay. So, first of all, I'm going to say this. Sometimes patience is, the time you pray for a thing is a time you pray for a thing and is a time you receive a thing. The in between is patience, right? And I feel like you could be being called to show patience, or you could even be in the energy of patience right now, right? I think to a certain degree we all are. And then it says reward and recognition and gift from faith, gift from faith. So I feel like God is going to reward you. I feel like you also going to be recognized for the work that you put in. And I think this is kind of going along with the download, right? You could be in a place of mediocrity right now, and you could be feeling like, when do I get recognized, or when do things change, right? When do I get a reward, or when do I get recognized for maybe the work you're doing or the energy that you're putting out? But then it says also a gift from faith, right? So maybe you have a gift that keeps giving, a gift from fate. This could also be a person coming in. I'm really feeling like that for somebody. Patience, reward, recognition, and gift from fate. I feel like you're being recognized for your hard work, even rewarded for it, or you will be rewarded for it. It says, congratulations, your hard work will pay off soon and take you in the direction of your dreams. Acknowledge your effort and your own power. So maybe you could be unlocking some sort of new gift inside of you. You could be receiving some sort of new gift. It's something that's coming in from fate. Fate sometimes surprises us. It may be an opportunity or a person. Cherish these gifts and treat them with gratitude. They will make your life better. I did say a person could be coming in. And it says it may be an opportunity or a person. So I don't know. I'll just say continue to be patient. It's a virtue. It's virtuous. Like, don't make no sudden moves or unordinary decisions, right? If you know that God got you in a place where you're being sustained and, God has you stable, not the things around your environment. I'm talking about when you have the stability of God, where you have a peace that resonates beyond understanding. You shouldn't even be peaceful, but yet you are, right? Just be patient. Your reward and recognition is upon you or is near, and a gift from fate, something you could be becoming aware of about yourself, something that could be, you could be ascending into a certain place where you begin to recognize different things about yourself as well, right? Whatever it is that has to do with your fate. And fate is that energy that is, it's what's gonna happen. It's like your predestination at work. So continue to be patient.
Joyce could be your name. Something about Joyce. Joyce is significant. We got moving on, loneliness, and the 8 of Cups in the reverse. Okay. Moving on. Thank you. Next. But then we got loneliness. I don't know. I feel like there is definitely a confusion, a conflict here. Someone could be feeling like, I don't want to leave, baby, but I gotta go right now. Okay, something like that. You could be feeling a need to move away from a situation, moving on. Or for some reason, it could be feeling very difficult to go. Okay? You know, I feel like there's someone here, and this is not going to resonate with everyone, and I'm not expecting it to, but there is a person here, and there's something that continuously blocks you from fully emerging into your spiritual journey. Okay? Something like that. You know, it says moving on, thank you, next, but then you have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. You know, the Eight of Cups is a spiritual transition. You know, when you leave all the things in your past behind and you hear that calling and you walk towards that calling. Someone's confused about this. Someone's like, I know it's, yeah, walk away.
Walk toward the car.
Thank you, Spirit.
I don't want to leave.
But I gotta go right now. Walk away.
Right now.
Okay? Confirmation is always gonna come through. Right? And then we got loneliness. I don't know if someone is scared to leave because they feel like they're going to be lonely, but it says, I know that I am never alone. Okay? I feel like loneliness has gotten us in a lot of bad predicaments. Okay? You ever be lonely, you call someone you know you weren't supposed to be calling, then you end up in a situation you know you weren't supposed to be in because you felt lonely. But you need to know that you're never lonely. It's something like that. You know, we talked about lukewarm water earlier today, and I think it's very important to speak about it again. You know, that's what I'm feeling here. This is that hot and cold energy. This is that, you know, I don't know which way to go. I don't know what to do, but you do. Okay? There's a person, and you know that without moving forward, you know, your journey does not continue. Something like that. Moving on. Okay? Something like that. I feel like right now it's time to move on from things that are hindering you, hurting you, keeping you stuck, making you feel stagnant, things that make you feel disbelief, something like that. Okay? You know, it's crazy because sometimes it's not necessarily anything bad happening in a relationship. Sometimes it's literally just two people have grown apart, you know? Your spiritual journey is very, very important. And you have to find people that align with your path and your journey. When you have someone that is pulling you down spiritually and you keep feeling depleted spiritually, it's time to move on. Something like that. You know, you can love, but if something is bringing your spirit down, it's probably time for you to get rid of it. There's something we need to move on from here, all of us. A friend, a family member, an addiction, a mindset, okay? Something like that. Move on, thank you, next, okay? There's a person who wonders why life is so hard for you. I feel it. It is, you know? And it's because a person refuses to move away from things that cause life to be hard. When God is trying to separate you from things that you keep trying to hold on to, you make your own life difficult. And then we were like, God, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Because I have gave you several warnings to leave, to move, to get away. You have prayed to me and asked me for a way to be free. I have given you freedom and you remain stuck. So at some point, you know, we got to know that sometimes we are the cause of our own problems and issues. And in this particular situation, I feel like, yeah, it could be that, you know. Sometimes we allow that loneliness to creep in and we forget that we're never alone because we are always in the presence of the Most High.
Over here, I got learn to listen, expand your horizons, and open up. So somebody right here, you may have a problem receiving information from other people. You know, you could be a person that you may think you know a lot, but you got to ask yourself, when you think you know a lot, normally when you're a person that think you know a lot, normally you don't know a lot. Because the people that know a lot, they normally think that they don't know anything, right? This is what, you know, this is kind of the difference between maturity and immaturity as well. An immature mind is a mind that swears that they got to figure it all out, right? It's hard to listen when you're in the immature place. I've been there. I'm sure you have. Well, Spirit is calling somebody to expand your horizons and open up. So, obviously, you need guidance, whoever you are, obviously. And maybe you should listen to that, if nothing else, right? What are you taking in? Sometimes you got to realize the amount of years on the earth, it plays a difference. Like, if you're a person, let's say you're in your 20s, right? 20s and early 30s, and then I'm gonna go 20 and early 30s, right? Those normally the years where, you figure you got life figured out, people can't tell you nothing. Let me tell you something, those are years when you don't know the most. Like, you don't really know a lot. At that time, you just think that you know a lot, right? So once you get to your 30s and your 40s, right? If you're still a person that's not willing to listen and learn at that age, then, it can get harder for you. Because in order for you to advance, you got to be able to learn and you got to be able to listen. Learning is important, right? Expand your horizons. That's kind of like taking the limits off of, how we place, I say, stipulations, or we place boundaries around, we guard what we believe in. We guard what we've been shown. But I feel God is saying you gotta make room for more to come in. If you want more, you gotta take in more. Like, if you want something different, you gotta be willing to invest in something different. You have to expand your horizons, because if you do the same old thing, you're not gonna receive a different result. And if you do expect a different result and you're doing the same old thing, it can lead to lunacy, right? And open up. Somebody, you closed off too much. It's not saying believe everything that you know, but you gotta be. That's why it's important to have a foundation. Thank you, God. When you have a foundation and you root it in that foundation, it's easier to open up, because it's harder for you to be shaken away from your foundation. Normally, people who have a problem opening up is because they're not really sure where they stand. So they're afraid to open up because they feel like, well, if I open up, this could change my opinion, or this could move me around, or this. Get rooted, right? In order for you to open up, it requires you to be rooted. You have to be standing on some type of foundation, not information. Information is not a good foundation to stand on. Why? Because a lot of information hasn't even been proven. Like, a lot of the stuff that you hear on the internet, it might have a ring of truth to it, but it hasn't really been proven, nor has it been authorized. 99% truth mixed with 1% falsehood makes something a lie. So it doesn't matter how it sounds good. Is it good? Is it 1% falsehood mixed in this 99% of what I'm hearing? Because that 1% falsehood that you accept, it can lead to you embracing a whole lie. So learn to be rooted in your foundation, but also learn to open up. Sometimes opening up, it gives you the leverage to evaluate a situation from both sides. When you can open up, you don't become narrow-minded or pessimistic. I'm not saying compromise. Opening up and compromising is two different things, right? All right, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's just say you got an enemy, right? And this enemy, let's just say you got an enemy, right? And this enemy wants to sway you, right? So opening up would be, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance to go ahead and say what you gotta say, right? That's opening up. Compromising is saying, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and accept what you say is the truth. I'm gonna go ahead and move out. That's compromise. So you don't have to compromise just because you opening up. Sometimes you opening up just so you can see the whole situation, or you can really evaluate it from both sides, right? Even in a conversation, sometimes, thank you, Spirit. It's not for you to be moved in the conversation. It's for you to open up. Sometimes God is just trying to show you how a person think, right? In order that you may not think that way. Maybe sometimes God is trying to show you that a person is not necessarily wrong. They just see it a different way. Sometimes God is trying to show us that we wrong. Let's be real. We not always right. Sometimes it's good to open up so that you can hear what somebody has to say, and they can show you, oh, I might have been wrong about that, right? But if you're a person that's never open to suggestion, you're never open, you won't learn much. And you probably won't listen to much. Expand your horizons.
We got the spirit of jealousy over here, envy. Okay. I got death. We got clout hungry, says anything, does anything, makes shit up and dramatic. And then we got the 6 of Wands. So someone's pissed off here, okay? Because there's a person held in high honors. Now, this could be you. Now, let's be real. Everybody's not held in high honors, but you are, okay? Whoever you are. There's someone here and you're held in high honors, and there's people who are literally pissed off at you because they chase clout and you chase the Most High. Okay? Something like that. Because you chase the Most High and they chase clout, they can't understand or comprehend why you are becoming successful and they feel like they should be. That's real. There's a person who has been taking shortcuts, getting paid from things, doing, they've been having a lot from what they've been doing. They've been doing a lot in the background. And whoever you are, you've been doing something honest. And it's bringing in, something that's going to last a very long time. When something is blessed by the Most High, you don't have to worry about it being destroyed or, it just falling apart. This is something that's blessed, okay? Your life, you're being held in high honors. You're being recognized for a thing, okay? Maybe you're being recognized because you're learning how to control your mouth. The mouth is a terrible weapon. Depending upon how you use it, if you use it incorrectly, it could be very cutting, right? Something like that. We got death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. You could be literally going through something right now, and it's sad. There's someone, you could be having a winning season, and you could be noticing that the people that you thought should be celebrating with you, they're not clapping. They're not celebrating. Their face is scrunched up. They're wondering how you got where you are, what you did, someone had to give you something in order for this to be working.
That's envy.
Something like that. The spirit of envy, malice, jealousy.
And we was just now Andrew Michael, we was just now talking about Belpafor, spirit of Belpeor. And I just read last night that Belpafor and Abaddon, which is the spirit, the demon of envy, they work together. Yeah. So Belpafor, laziness and envy, right? They are two, let's just say laziness and envy. So I'm gonna keep saying the names of these archdemons, right? Archangel Michael. The spirit of laziness and the spirit of envy, they will work together and attack you. That's vicious, ain't it?
Yeah, it's crazy because a lot of times we go through life, we want to fight people. We want to put our paws on people. I know me. Sometimes I get so angry, I just want to grab somebody by their neck and choke them. I do. I ain't gonna lie. That's me. I'm human, right? But I have to remember it's not the people that I'm mad at. It's the spirit that works with them, right? Sure. So I have to know that I can't really beat a spirit. So I have to keep myself, in prayer, meditation, doing different things to keep me in alignment with not trying to battle these things in the physical. That's right? I have to pull out my spiritual weapons, and you do too, because someone, there's people who do love you, admire you, people that want to help you, but you do have the spirit of jealousy, envy, malice also clouding on top of you as well. While there are people that want to see you, there are some that are like, no, because no, why not me? Okay, no. Well, she can be there, but she can't be above me. Or, he's doing okay, but he can't do better than me. Wait a minute, something's happening here. Someone wanted you to be a person that was, plays small your entire life. They thought because you didn't reach your goals the first time, you gave them all of your information prematurely, you told them everything you wanted to do, and they didn't see these things being done, so they thought you were defeated. They didn't know that the Most High holds you in high honors. I was listening to Dr. Miles Monroe this morning, and he always speaks about, favor, and favor is not fair. Favor is earned. right? You've earned favor by the work that you've been doing, by getting up, praying, by not sending return to senders, not playing in the spell book when everybody wants to, put people in the freezer. They want to do all these kind of things. You're sticking to what you know, the Most High, something like that. So you're held in high honors. They say we can't conform to the world, and that's who I'm talking to. A person that is not conforming to this world for fame, fortune, or finances. I'm talking about a person that is believing in the Most High, and your enemies are literally having to watch you at the table that God is building before you. Something like that.
We war not against flesh and blood,
but against
principalities and spiritual wickedness. Spiritual wickedness
in high places.
In high places, right? And that's what we're talking about, the battle with these archdemons. And I know that somebody jumped on and said, oh, you part of the program. That's probably an occultist, right? Because they don't want me to talk like this. The reason why I'm not supposed to talk to y'all like this is because they want you to lose faith and understanding in the Bible, right? And I'm going to say that. And the reason why I know they come, the Bible is translated, it's the essence of the Bible. Do you realize that they attacking you with the same King James Version Bible that everybody goes against? Is the same? Do you know they attack you with a book that's written by the same author, King James, called the Book of Demonology? This is what I'm talking about. Dark occultists, right? I'm not talking about Lord black magic and all. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people summoning arc energies to attack people in the collective. That's a little different than Santeria or witchery or black magic. That's sorcery. This is different. So I'm speaking to people and trying to enlighten people about what's going on in the dark. You're being attacked by energies that have names.
They're greater than that.
You have to learn these things, right? Learn to listen, because you don't want to be attacked by an arc energy and you just moving throughout your day mad at people. Right? You mad at people because you're not realizing they under the unction of an arc demon. So that means that 5 people can be attacking you in the same way and it feel the same way because they moving with the same spirit. And when you're dealing with arc demons, they different. They not fallen one. They not like your typical energies that people just send. These are summons energies, right? They summons from the underworld. I mean, they call them up and they send them to do their bidding. And this is the attack that a lot of chosen ones feel. You don't even know what's going on because you're being attacked on a spiritual level. But the only thing that you can focus on is people. It's not the people. It's the spirit at work.
That's right.
We got creativity, soar, and wonderful. And this is the reason why you're being attacked. Because your creativity is allowing you to soar, right? It's putting forth a wonderful energy. And your spiritual enemies, that's the last thing that they want. They aiming for your creativity. Your creativity, right? Your creativity is something that the enemy needs from you. Your creativity, the enemy wants that, right? But creativity is also the way that we express what God has placed inside of us. Like the gift that you have inside of you, you create it through, you express it through your creativity. This is why the enemy is attacking that. Because your creativity, the enemy don't want you with that. That's what's causing you to soar.
That's why, my husband is so real that I had to even interrupt you. I'm sorry. Your creativity is so important. That's why do you think about this. Why do you think the devil always wants to lay down with you? Okay? How many times have you laid down with a demon? Like, you may not have realized it in the beginning, but then you get up and you're like, this is a whole demon, because the enemy loves to try to get into your sacred energy. Okay?
Your mind and your heart, in regard to creativity, right? Those are the 2 main things that the enemy will always try to attack your mind, and your heart, right? Even before your finances and your health, your mind and your heart, because without your mind, without a sound mind, without a heart that's in alignment, you create a miss. You won't create, you won't co-create with the divine. You'll begin to create with other energies, right? This is why the enemy always wants your creativity, again, is allowing you to soar, right? The footnote says you're being asked to stop dimming your own light, period. It's time for you to come out of the shadows and let your authentic self roar. Fly high, dear one. So you're being called to rise above these attacks that you may be incurring. Just rise above it. Wonderful. And I feel like this right here, this right here is the kicker. Because the enemy does not want you to be in wonderful energy. Enemy wants you to be in energy of confusion, disarray, doubt, right? And anything but wonderful. Because wonderful is alignment. You know, wonderful is when God is pleased, most of all. And that's not what the enemy wants for your life. The enemy don't want for God to be pleased with you. The enemy want us to run around and become overloaded with brand new information, so much so that you forget the faith that was already instilled in you. That's what the enemy wants. That's why the enemy aiming for our creativity. The enemy doesn't want you to co-create and learn more about God and learn more about your purpose. The enemy wants you to do away with everything that you built your foundation on, grab hold of new stuff, and then lead you down a bunch of dark rabbit holes until you don't really know this one from that one. That's the enemy's aim. Confusion and chaos. So, soar. Rise above it. It's all here for you. Yeah, it's going to take work. Yeah, it's going to take dedication. It's going to take all of that, and we all go through it. I'm not speaking at you. I'm speaking across to you. I'm going through the same thing that you're going through. Some of the things I might go through first just because of the position that God got me in, but nevertheless, we all going through the same things. Remain creative.
Brittany. I got Queen Rising. It says stepping into power, praise, coming up in the spotlight. Okay? And then we got the moon card, feminine energy. I feel like there's a woman, okay, Queen Rising. God kept you a secret. You know, people counted you out. They felt like you didn't have what it took to do whatever it is that you wanted to do. But God kept that secret so nobody could see with the Cancer and moon energy, feminine energy. There's a divine feminine that God kept you tucked away. Okay? He spared you. He kept you a secret. You know, maybe even God, you know, people have disposed of you thinking that you were, you know, you were just disposable. They didn't understand that God was creating a queen that was rising in the background. Something like that. We got love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Okay? Because you're willing to see the good in all things, you're rising. You're stepping into your power. Okay? You could be being honored or praised at work in your position of authority, and you're coming up in the spotlight. Remember I said you were held in high honors earlier? Okay, but you have someone in the background that does not approve of this. It's like, you know, there's a person that feels like they should be in control of your success or something like that. Okay, but you're the one with the gift. It's crazy, you know? It's crazy, right? So Queen Rising, you know, you're stepping into your power. You have a title. And I know a lot of you guys don't want a title. You're like, I just want to be me. I want to do me. But, you know, to whom much is given, much is required. You have a title. And so, you know, throughout life, you're tested according to your title, right? Something like that. You know, if this is you in this Queen Rising energy, it's important for you to remember that you need to rise above adversity, challenges, you know, altercations, you know, getting into things, getting into situations with people that are not even on your level. A lot of you guys are still arguing with people that you will never get them to see your point of view. You will never get them to agree with you, but it's like you keep fighting a person when you don't understand it's the spirit. It's not them. Think about how many people you met with the same spirit. You ever met somebody and it seems so familiar? You're like, wait a minute. You remember Usher made that song, "You Remind Me of a Girl That I Once Knew." See, it was the Jezebel spirit. It was the same familiar spirit. Right? Something like that.
Or Jenny Aiko's song,
Okay.
Strangers.
Janae, yep. Janae Aiko, right?
Starting to feel the
Similar things, right?
Are you sure we haven't met before? Familiar spirit.
Okay, yeah, a familiar spirit. Something like that. Okay? So you're rising. You don't have time to be playing around and losing divinity playing around with these people out in this world. Okay? Something like that. I feel like, honestly, it's very important for you to realize right now as well. People are aiming for you to do shit back to them so that you can be held accountable because your accountability is greater. Okay?
Sometimes when we talking, right, and spirit is moving, I'm hearing different things, and what's being said is so much deeper. Like my wife just said, somebody got a title. Automatically you get to thinking of evangelist, minister, babalawo, mawanganza. You start you start thinking of all of these titles that have an earthly rhythm, right? But the greatest title that you can have is a child of the Most High.
You heard me.
That's the title. That's the title right there. Because when you got that title, you'll find yourself in life. You be beefing with ministers, prophets. You be beefing with evangelists. You be having unknown beef with everybody just because you really have a title that's been authorized by heaven. Not something that a man came and gave you and wrapped around your head or wrapped around your neck or, not those kind of titles. Somebody, you got a title that's been authorized by God and it's been proven in this earth by the way that God is sustaining you. Some people, you have people that don't understand your title and they feel religious and they feel like they have authority. And maybe they even speak against you in a certain type of way. And maybe this could be moving you around. It's like, I thought this person was supposed to be holy, but yet still I feel like they're against me and I'm just feeling like God is loving on me, right? It's due to lack of understanding. So it's good to have a forgiving heart. See, Saul made the same mistake about David. When David was anointed king, he was 13. He was in the dung pit, right? So nobody really believed in his anointing. It was like Samuel was the only one that knew what was going on. Samuel was like, this is the new king of Israel. But Israel, like, we already got a king. And Saul was like, I'm not hearing that, right? So Saul went out of his way to use his authority to come against David. But every time he would do it, it would be to no avail. Because why? David had the real title. Saul's title was an earthly title. David had the king of Israel title that was given from heaven. He was surely a child of the Most High. And Saul was too, but Saul forfeited his divinity and he didn't want to accept that. And sometimes we have those people in our lives chosen. Some people, they chose to go out here in regards to you. They forfeited their divinity. Some by going against you. Some by not raising you up into the position that God was trying to put you in. They went against it. They was like, nah, we don't see that in her. Right? They do things that's contrary to what we believe in. But what they don't know is that God's title, God's favoring, God favored it and saved nobody. But what God favor does is it creates a way for you to save yourself. That's what David had, the favor of God. Saul threw a javelin at him. David dodged it, got out of there, ran away, went to the caves and hills, wrote psalms about it. And no matter how, and I want somebody to grow from this right here. No matter how much David and Saul didn't see eye to eye, David never challenged Saul. He didn't grab a sword. He took up his ephod in regards to Saul. He took his holy garments on. And he was like, I'm going to just honor what I know to be. I don't know what God is doing right now. And whole time, David was ranked higher than Saul. If David would have took his sword up and went against Saul, I'm sure God would have supported David. But David ain't see it like that. David beat his own self down. Why? Because he didn't want to walk in the anointing I was given. Same way with us. We sit up there and worry about who's in this position, who's in that place. Man, move out like God told you to move out. Don't be defiant. Don't be a disruptor. That's Belfer for. It's not for us to be a disruption to, and that's what David knew. David was like, I'm not going to get into the energy. I'm not going to ride with Bel Peor and fight against Saul, right? It would have caused a rift in the plans of God. So what David did was say, I'm going to just take up my ephod. I'm going to do spiritual warfare against all my enemies. I'm not going to single Saul out as being my enemy. David became eminently aware that, Saul just moving in the spirit that everybody moving in. So instead of just trying to fight Saul, I'm going to take my ephod. I'm going to fight all of them at once by fighting the spirit that's at work. Same way with us. Fight the spirit at work. It says release, don't freak out, and take action. Release, don't freak out. You hear me? Just release it. Even if you feel like I'm speaking about something that's in your life. Maybe you feel like you in bed with the unholy, right? You feel like you're in agreement with the unholy. You feel like maybe you made some decisions that go against God's plans for your life. Maybe you went in the dark and tampered around, tinkered with a few things. Okay, don't freak out. Release all you've done and reach for greater. The greater is first by reaching through repentance. If you feel like that, you bound, it's stuff on you that's holding you and you can't shake loose, God says, release it. Don't freak out about it. Release it. Because if you freak out about it, you're gonna enlarge the hold on you. You're gonna strengthen the hold that whatever has a hold on you, freaking out only make it stronger. It's like being in handcuffs. The more you try to yank out, the tighter they get. It's the same way when you bound by afflictions or addictions or the enemy got you in a place. Don't try to shake out of it, right? It's going to get tighter. Just release it. That's right. Even if you didn't stop doing it, even if you didn't stop indulging in it, still release it. That's right. Release it anyway, because that release on that level, it might not show up in your actions just yet, but it will. If you release it in your heart, it might not resonate to your actions immediately, but if you release it in your heart, right, eventually it'll resonate through your actions because you released it in a place where it's supposed to be released. The same way, and I'm going to move out, the same way that David released the need to battle Saul, it showed up, and it showed up later. He could have went to war with Saul, but he was like, I'm going to just release it. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go on the run. It's the same way that, what's the guy name that was fighting? You always talk about him. He got moved to an island and he got fed with the birds. What's his name?
I can't even.
Was it Samuel?
No.
I believe it was Samuel. It might have been Samuel. But Samuel.
The Ravens.
Yeah, because Samuel had an enemy in Jezebel. Mm-hmm. He was scared of Jezebel. Mm-hmm. But you know what he learned how to do? He was afraid of Jezebel, y'all. Jezebel was on his heels because he slayed all the prophets of Baal Peor. He slayed them. He slayed every last one of her prophets. She went into a rage and said, you got to bring me his head. I need Samuel's head.
I want that.
So Samuel was like, I got to get out of there. Mm-hmm. So he ran away from it. But he was able to release and let God fight. He released the need to do battle with it. He was like, I know I'm just going to release it. And took action. He took action. And that's the same way we got to learn how to do. That's why the Bible says sometimes we gotta run from the evil.
Come on.
It's not that you running from it because you're scared. You run into a place where you can sit down and get your wits and gather your burn. Imagine if he'd have went to war with Jezebel, she'd have slayed him because he was uncertain. He was tapped out of faith and tapped into fear. And that's what we can't do. We can't tap out of faith and tap into fear, because then Jezebel get a hold of you.
That was your message. We hope you guys enjoyed this morning's segment. We love you guys so much. Thank you for your energy, your time, your comments. Okay? If you haven't already, we ask that you hit the bell notification so that you are notified when we go live. If you would like to be a blessing to our channel, all of our information is listed on our page. I'll be doing Taurus Zodiac reading today on my personal Facebook page at La Dawson. So make sure you guys go follow that page, L.A. Dawson. If you're a Taurus, your reading will be out today. If you're Aries, go to my page. The full video is on the page. Make sure you guys follow my husband as well, Harvey Dawson. We love you guys so much. God bless you and have a great Tuesday. We'll see you later.